Be the host. I know you can be.
Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode.
Yay!
And we are live. Tonight, like I said, I have Pretty Ideal with me. And I also have Dritz Fury. Is that a perfect picture of Dritz Fury or what?
Beautiful picture.
I like how
It
you
fits me
spelled
so
his
well.
name. I like how you spelled his name there.
Yeah, definitely wrong, but it's okay.
The sentiment is there.
Oh
It's
my
okay.
god, I did. I can fix that. I'm an MLG guy with MLG skills. We can't have that going on.
It's funny.
I don't approve. It's rigged. Yeah. Open.
It's not rigged. It's not rigged. If it was rigged, I would have probably won again.
Let's see. I can't believe I did that. Why did I do that?
You are.
Rooms.
It is rigged, your antic. It is rigged.
No, it's not. Don't admit to anything.
Oh. Mistakes were made. I'll just scribble it out. Put the
See?
See, I can do this. I can. So anyway, Pretty Ideal. What did you think about the episode as a whole?
As a whole, I would say this was a great episode, and I feel like this is what should have felt like as the first episode. You know, the first episode really disappointed me, just because it was too much setup and it didn't really drive the plot as much. And this episode, it was still set up, but it punched forward. It said, "This is exactly what's happening and all over Westeros. Like things are happening left and right, and they should have combined the first two episodes, in my opinion. It would have been a lot, but
You know,
I don't know. I loved it.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Same.
It really feels like that they should have done exactly that. Because the last week's episode, I'm not too sure it did a whole lot for me. It was a transition thing, but when there's only 10 episodes, you know, I'm wanting some really good oomph to start out with, you know? And I think this one did. I really do. And I felt real good about the episode. There were some things that were supposed to be shockers and all, but I think a lot of us saw that kind of stuff coming. So
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, a lot of it.
Dritz, you thought the same thing?
Yeah, I thought it was a good setup episode, whereas the first one was slower and didn't really do anything to really push the plot along.
Yeah, I agree with that. And in this episode, there was, okay, I think I'm all done with my diddling around here. So
Diddling is for your own time, Moro.
Bro.
So okay, so all right, I got that fixed. All right, so let's get up my notes here. I want to see.
Is your daughter playing a game?
Yeah, Kitty, I'm gonna have her.
Holy crap, Roram, we have a new top donator.
I think he's always trolling me.
When does she not troll?
You know, she's not even on, so she must not be trolling me. No, Ben from Pixel Maniacs. Greets from Chromagun team. We have just sent you a free key for our game. Please check your
Ooh.
mails. $1.
Sounds like scam.
Well, greetings from Chroma Gun Team. Yeah, interesting. Click on link here. Please enter information. So, so the show starts out with a three-eyed raven. Hold on one second. The three-eyed raven. And we really find out. We get to go step into the past and see what's going on in the past. I kind of like how it's not a flashback per se, but we get to have. Okay, all right, Skiffy. So Bran gets into the scene, and it almost feels like he can touch people or do whatever he wants, but he's just watching it like it's a TV show. So I thought that was an interesting take on things instead of just being a flashback. I kind of thought that sorry, I got distracted by chat. So so that's I thought that was interesting that it was just kind of that way. What did you think about that?
Well, I'll jump in and say that Bran. Okay, we haven't seen him in a really long time.
We didn't see him all last season, right?
Yeah. And so this whole kind of what's he been doing the whole time, and I'm pretty sure that we're not parallel to last season with his storyline. I think he's been at the Weirwood Tree for a while.
Yes.
And there's something that maybe the show doesn't come across as well as in the books is that the tree exists in all time. Like the tree sees it all as it happens, and it's never really the past or the future. So when Bran is, in the tree and he's seeing these visions, to the tree, it's happening like right then. And to Bran, it's the past. So we're seeing this Eddard Stark, and we're seeing Lyanna for the first
Hodor.
time. And Willis Hodor, and he talks, which is like kind of blows your mind because everyone thought, well, maybe he was just special. So, what happened there? Why does he only say Hodor now? I have
Yeah. That's quite the big mystery, isn't it? Because we get to see that he actually has a different name than Hodor too. So Willis, which is I don't know. I don't know what happened. How did his name change? Why was he Willis? He seemed kind of slow back then though still, but he obviously had a vocabulary. So that was pretty interesting that had happened. So yeah.
Well, I guess I have to wait for you to finish the question because my theory has to do with his job.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, we're gonna end that. I don't think anybody. Oh, I think we got a couple takers, so we're gonna close on that. And yes, he was the stable boy.
Betting pool. Yeah, maybe he was kicked in the head by a horse.
Oh, maybe.
I mean,
a horse named Hodor.
I don't know. I don't know. Unless it was violence or something, because he had a vocabulary. You don't really just lose that unless you have a terrifying encounter.
Hey, look, I'm Fix.
Hey, look. Ragnar Lothbrok joined us.
I am totally off my game.
Chris, what do you think?
Did you have a take on the Hodor thing, Chris?
I think there's going to be a big reveal later in the season of what actually happened to him, and it's probably going to play into, just how he's evolved.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be someone hurts him, like him up or something.
Yeah,
because we're seeing. Go ahead.
And it might be somebody that they run into later or something like that, and it causes him to talk again or something.
I'm really interested in this plot though, or this little anecdote. Like, I really want to know what happened to poor Hodor.
So we saw Lyanna for the first time ever, besides statue form, and she seemed like she was pretty good on horse. And I guess there's some lore around that there was this mysterious knight that came and unseated Jaime Lannister at some tournament. and nobody know who it was. There's some mystery to it. Some people are speculating that it's possibly her. So that would
It's
be
pretty strong speculation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, could happen. I guess we're kind of going off book now.
Right. So we'll push on.
So yeah.
So he comes back from the dream, and I like how it was interesting. And Bran saying, "I want to stay longer," and then Three-Eyed Raven is like, "It's so beautiful under the sea, but if you stay too long, you'll drown." So I really liked that. That was well said, I think.
Holy crap.
That's good.
Lauren, we have a new top donator.
Only one way I can get noticed. I'm not playing CSGO tonight. Thank you for the donation. It's tough to read chat right now during this session of the stream. But I'm pretty much just talking to the people that are in here, and we'll try to answer your questions as we go along. But it's tough for me to make call-outs. I hope you appreciate that. But it kind of takes away from us talking to each other. I'll try to type in chat if I can, but I don't want to talk over my fellow hosts. But I'll try to type to you guys if I can. So pushing on, then the scene 2, we get back to the Night's Watch, and so crossbows are all drawn at the door, and so they're making offers again. They're trying to say, hey, we're going to let you out. We'll let everybody live. All you gotta do is just come out. And they even had start this next question.
I mean, everyone was just bows drawn. They were ready to kill everybody, and no one thought that they would keep their promises because they're not idiots. And we had a little bit of foreshadowing about that in the last episode when the Onion Knight was like, hey, we have friends here. Go find them. And then the giant, what's his name? Woon Woon, busts through the door.
Yeah. No, the first thing I thought was they have a cave troll. It just reminded me of Lord of the Rings. Him just busting through there. They have a cave troll, and everybody's doomed. And he just wipes out that one guy just right away. Well, actually, it wasn't him that wipes out the one guy. It was Tormund. Just cut him, and everybody pauses. And then one guy shoots the giant with an arrow, and then he pulls him out. He swats him around, and that's it. And then everybody folds. Night Watch is done.
Best ragdoll ever. Do you think the guy meant to pull the arrow? Because to me, the look on his face was, oh God, my finger slipped.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I don't think he meant to pull that arrow. I really don't. Poor guy.
Yeah, that was interesting. But I mean, Tormund, he definitely took in, and he really, really, I got the impression that he likes Jon Snow better dead than alive. Because he just seems really, really devoted to him. I guess he did save his life and everybody that came across, but maybe he's really seeing it now. That he really just seemed like. He's doing everything he can for him. Yeah.
Now, I guess we'll save this for the next scene. So, let's go. Dredge, do you have thoughts?
Here's my question about that scene. Why was nobody watching the front gate?
They don't have the numbers anymore. Not nearly. They had, maybe 40, 50 people on the Night's Watch now?
Yeah, but you have a wildling
army,
mass of people running towards that gate.
Right.
There's no way you wouldn't have been able to notice that.
There would have been one sound off at least, or some guy screaming in the distance, right? I mean,
and a giant.
You have a point. I didn't think about that.
He's not very quiet. So
it could just be that. I mean, the new head of the Knights. What's his face? God, I just forgot his name. Oh my God.
Then it was interesting about the traitor talk. He's like calling them traitors. The new Lord Commander, he's calling them traitors. What the hell? But he's the one that cut everybody up. He cut Jon Snow up. You know,
Well, I mean, that's what I meant. The Lord Commander, he's just bad at what he does. I mean, he's got this old school thinking, and to him, the guys around Jon Snow's body may have been more of a threat, and that's why everybody was trained at the door and no one was on watch. It might have just been he sucks at everything in the whole world because I hate him.
right? So it says throw him into the cells. I mean, I really thought you'd just butcher him up, you know?
Yeah, that seems like a mistake to me.
Yeah, it does seem like a mistake. So we'll see how that turns out. And then this scene they definitely could have done without. I mean, I don't know if I'm real happy. Could you just
Tell Chad which scene.
The tavern scene. So the guy's talking about the queen. And he's talking about Jaime Lannister and everything else like that. And you know, it just doesn't seem like that was necessary. It seems like they could have done a lot of other things, but it did lead to
Franken Mountain.
Yeah, Franken Mountain bashing that guy that was just trying to take a peaceful piss. That was talking all the smack about Cersei and Jaime Lannister, and somehow he heard that this guy was running his mouth in the tavern, and then he caught him pissing, smashed his head in, and then he goes and sees Cersei, and he has more blood on him than what he would have got from that one scene. So I kind of took out of the fact that he was running around town bashing heads in the name of Cersei and Jaime.
Yeah, that's what I got too. That whole scene, obviously it was comic relief, but I agree, I would have much rather him like just running around bashing people's heads in.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. It makes sense why they put it in there.
They're just trying to show him as the all loyal monster.
Yeah, I get what they were going for.
Yeah, and then so Cersei's trying to go to the funeral, and did you notice that it wasn't Golden Cloaks that were blocking her way? It was Lannister army. And
yeah,
so I found that was interesting.
Kingsguard.
Yeah.
It was not the Kingsguard.
And
it was her own army. That's crazy.
So I found that was interesting, and they looked really relieved when they didn't have to fight Zombie Mountain.
But they were going to.
Yeah. I think they had enough. Can you kill that guy? He's already dead. So I don't know, but so then we get the scene 4. They're in a sept, and King Tommen he thinks that the mother killed the prince, so he's really pissed off that mother would have killed the prince out of vengeance. So they're wanting to find the killers, and he's like calling out Cersei right away. And then Jaime. We saw a little bit of this last episode, but Jaime grows a set again. He talked about that a little bit when he's talking about Cersei when he came back, but I really, really think that Jaime is just coming out on his own like he was in the first 3 seasons. You know, just a pompous, arrogant, gonna take the world by the horns and take it over. You know?
Yeah. See, what I got from that scene is that it was more for Tommen realizing like he's still very young, but he's nowhere near as ruthless as he needs to be. Because like he's now seen both of his siblings get murdered. You know, he can't see his wife. He has no power. There's his uncle, got his hand cut off and is still head of the King's Guard, and he's realizing how little power he has. Because in the very beginning, he was saying that, it was probably his mom. And then by the end of that scene, he realizes that he needs to be way more like her.
And he says sorry to Jaime, too. He's
like after that.
He snaps at him, and he's like, sorry.
Yeah.
And then, so the High Sparrow walks in, and then he shushes off Tommen. which is probably good because Tommen probably been put in chains, for something. Who knows what the High Sparrow's got in mind for him? So he shushes him off, and then Jamie and the High Sparrow kind of go toe to toe, and Jamie's like, "What about my sins?" Like, oh my God, what is he going to talk about? Did you wonder if Jamie is going to get himself in trouble?
I did.
What about you,
But
Dritz?
Dritz, what's your opinion on that scene? Hello? He's still there?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I thought he was just gonna come out and stab the guy. Like,
Yeah.
he's already done so much to their family that why wouldn't you kill him?
Even if all of his little minions were going to try to get you. See, that's my problem with this scene. I no longer actually care about the High Sparrow. It's a very non-Westeros kind of plot, it feels like. Because anytime anyone does anything wrong, they just kill him. And this guy's hanging around, and he keeps poking the bear, or I guess the lion in this case. And he keeps...
I'm kind of wondering if the coming episodes, Cersei's just gonna be like, okay, Tommen told me this is, that's the next scene, but this would take care of things, but we can push on to there. But I mean, all the minions come out, and then I don't know. I think Jamie, he didn't look like he was afraid at all. He just
they were carrying like pieces of wood.
Yeah,
they were
clubs.
like slapdash weapons.
He could easily take most of them.
That's what I'm saying. So this plot
With one
point,
hand.
I am not a fan. So someone needs to kill the High Sparrow, and we need to move on from it because I don't care.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
So the
Savage.
next scene, Tommen does actually go see Cersei, like he was supposed to, and so that's good. And the next question was, as soon as Tommen goes to see his mom, mom's like, what color was the dress? It was. So it was. That was the talk right away.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Cersei got beat down, but I think she's sad. I think now she's angry. And now that Tommen is coming at her with all of his kingly powers, like, she's going to use that, and people are going to start dropping like flies. I don't think she's done.
She still has control over him, and it's very manipulative, but that's what she does.
Yeah,
and she's good at it. She's going to get worse.
Well, she didn't have it before, which is why that scene was important. But it took his sister dying, her fiance being murdered, his wife being kept in a hole for him to even wake up. Little Tommen, I'm talking about.
Yes.
So I don't know. I
think
Tommen needs to go.
Tommen gives Cersei permission to carte blanche to do whatever she wants. When Tommen says, "You need to help me," and she's like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna take this over, and then we're gonna start bashing some heads around."
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah,
I think the mountain is going to be the one that kills the High Sparrow.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, please.
I think so. That would be fun. His exact words were, "Help me to be strong." And so, yeah.
I'm excited. Franken Mountain. I don't know.
The Franken Mountain.
The dress was gold.
Did it creep anybody else out with the rocks on her eyes?
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but I understand why they did it.
Yeah.
Did it say so they can see that?
See into the next world, like life isn't over after death.
Mm-hmm.
They're just so cartoony, but that's how they really did them back in Viking days and whatnot.
Is that true, Kix? He's still practicing
Kix is
Viking.
not here.
Yeah, I think he's monitoring chat.
Is he here? Okay, I hadn't seen him in a while. Probably on the toilet.
So
poor kid.
The next scene is off the Marine. which I really like this this scene here. I wish it was longer, but
Remember when I called it? Remember when I said Tyrion was going to train the dragons?
yeah, you did.
He's
You
going to
did.
fly in riding one of those dragons one of these days,
Ah.
commanding an army.
Yes. I did. I'm sorry, Roram. Go ahead.
No,
Do your
no, that's definitely what I was thinking. That I think this is one of the first little clues that we have that well, another clue that Tyrion could be Targaryen. So so they go in there and they start the best quote of the whole series, as far as I'm concerned, is you need to wait for that question to be gone. But so and then he makes some crack about eunuchs, and then he turns around, and he sees Grey Worm. He's, oh no, not you! I'm talking about Varys.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
So that was pretty funny. I do think the comic relief should be left to Tyrion instead of what they tried to do in that tavern.
Yeah. But he diffuses every situation with humor. But he's clever about it. It's not just like crude.
And
I think
yeah,
it's funny.
and the Masters of we hear that the Masters have retaken all but Slaver's Bay, and so everything is gone that she's done, and so we're just down to just Meereen now that has been freed and is on the verge of being taken again, and so who's I drink and I know things. It sounds like a T-shirt or a bumper sticker. Tyrion needs to be comedic, otherwise, what does he have left? Yeah.
That'll be my new quote for life. Is, I drink and I know things.
Exactly.
Well, so the Council of Meereen, well, I guess that's not really their name. It's just like a nickname. They're not sure really what to do about it. I mean, they have kind of power just left over from Daenerys, and I'm not really sure how they're still in power, aside from the fact that they have all the Unsullied behind them. Why haven't any of the Masters come to try to take them out of power? Is it because Tyrion has the Lannister name? Or, because there's just 4 of them. Or 5. No, 5? Yeah. The other guy's off looking for Daenerys, right?
Well, there's
they don't know what to do aside from try to train these dragons.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing left, do they? Yeah, they don't have anything left except
because they're fighting this unseen army. The Harpies. The Harpies have destroyed all the ships, but do they know that Daenerys is gone? I mean, everyone saw her ride away on a dragon.
Oh yeah,
did they see? Do they think she came back? Why haven't they tried to retake that giant pyramid?
So no one's probably seen the dragon come back, so they obviously probably think she's not there.
Yeah. I don't understand that bit.
So Tyrion goes down and he unlocks the dragons. A really awesome scene. He's like,
and then they just walk back into the
what's that
back into the crypt.
Yeah. So originally, when they came in, if you remember, there was like this giant stone wheel that they wheeled in front of it, and I don't think that's at the entrance where they came in at, but so are they just going to bust loose now that they're not chained? Are they just going to, jump out of there? What are they going to do? Or is Tyrion going to let him out after the Master is trying to reclaim Meereen? Then he wants to exert their authority on him. I don't know. Or is he just going to try to train him in there a little bit before all this happens?
Well, the dragons went back on their own. He didn't say anything. He didn't throw food back there. They just, they took off the chains. And like he said, dragons are more intelligent than people give them credit for.
He's like, I wanted a dragon for my name day. It could be a little one, like a cat, but wanted a little one like me. A little one like me.
And so the dragons could tell that he's a friend. Maybe that's why they stayed, or maybe they stayed because they think the mother's coming back. I mean, if I was a dragon, I would have just flown out there and started eating sheep and people.
Right.
That's my prerogative, but
right.
They just went back into the cave with no food.
And he tells Varys, the next time I have an idea like that, punch me in the face.
I think they've been feeding them so that that they probably still have food in there somewhere, but not a lot.
Yeah, but like they stayed in the cave.
Yeah, as I said,
I
they
don't know.
ran as soon as he unlocked them. They just ran in the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm curious if that was a bit of foreshadowing though when he says punch me in the face, because I think that would be a funny scene if Varys actually does punch Tyrion in the face.
I would, yeah,
Yeah,
that would be
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, I've seen that, Razor. So it's very possible. So then,
Oh wait, I want to touch on something
Oh,
that
okay.
just happened in chat.
okay,
Where we brought it up briefly in the last week that Tyrion might have Targaryen blood, just that he might not actually be a Lannister. And we don't need to go into that right now, but they're bringing it up because the dragons responded to him.
hmm
But I will say that dragons also responded to all of the people that Daenerys had around her, because they maybe didn't obey, but they weren't attacking left and right.
Missandei and all the other.
Yeah,
People.
that's
yeah. That's very true.
it. Like, even if he ends up not having Targaryen blood and he actually is a Lannister, it could just be that he's a genuinely nice person and the dragons can tell. I just wanted to touch on that.
Everyone's got Targaryen blood. Just call it that.
But should he be white of hair? I don't know. So that's my kind of. What about
In the books-
whole white
In the
of hair
book,
thing?
Tyrion has blonde hair and light eyes.
Well,
or black eyes.
The first season, Tyrion had really blonde hair.
Yeah, but I think that's a tangent we shouldn't get into,
Yeah.
because that's kind of like the predicting Azor Ahai kind of thing. That will take an entire episode.
So we get to see Arya next, which the next day is passed, obviously, and she got her staff near, and she's wanting to make good on I'll see you the next day, and she gets up and she's swinging like crazy,
And gets whipped.
and gets whooped one club strike at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you? No one. And then eventually, she tries to swing the staff again, and how do you pronounce his name? Jaqen H'ghar or what?
Jaqen H'ghar.
Yeah.
So,
I
will
back.
point out that she thought he was dead.
Right.
So
Right.
that was probably a shock too.
But let's be fair. The girl and Jaqen could have been the same person in that scene with just a different face on, right?
Yeah, because it's the faceless god.
Right.
They're kind of each other.
So I don't even know. Is this Jaqen H'ghar? Is he just a face that sits in the basement downstairs that people just take turns wearing?
He might be. That's the whole mystery about it. If you serve the faceless god, you are no one.
Right.
And so she's trying to be no one, but he's the closest thing that she has to the faceless god. She still kind of doesn't get it.
She doesn't give in though. She just keeps saying the girl is no one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Passes another test.
Yeah, she works hard at it. You could see at the very end when he starts walking away, you could almost see her face thinking, did I make the right decision?
Yeah.
You could
I
almost
think
see her
that's
heart
pro-
sinking. It was really good. She did it with no words. And it was pretty amazing. And she goes to pick up her coins. It's like, the girl doesn't need those anymore. A girl is not a beggar anymore. So
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Next scene, unless Dritz had more thoughts.
No, so Winterfell. So or Winterfell, and we get to see
So this scene, the first portion I saw coming.
Yeah, that wasn't a surprise.
with Bruce Bolton,
Yes.
with Ramsay Bolton killing him.
As soon as the son was born,
Oh yeah,
and he knew it was this boy,
it's like ringing of a bell, right?
you knew, right?
Yeah.
As soon as that happened, Bruce is dead.
And then what sealed it is when he looked at him and said, "Well, you'll always be my firstborn," implying that he's no longer the heir. And you're just like, oh, you like nailed the nail in your coffin. Oof.
Oh,
it gave me chills.
So you think by the way he said that you'll always be my firstborn? So that was implying that he no longer was heir, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because he was his firstborn, but not the heir. Yeah, definitely. I guess, yeah, that definitely could be taken that way for sure. And then he just...
And that's exactly how he took it.
Yeah, and what about the other guy, the standing there? He knew this was going to go down?
I don't think he knew it, but he was more loyal to Ramsay in the first place.
The Karstarks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Meister is just like, what? You know, this little bastard. And everyone,
what's he gonna do?
Yeah.
He's a
Seven
Meister.
Ravens. He's in Seven Ravens.
He probably will.
And the Meisters are always loyal to whoever's in charge. Like, it doesn't matter who's in charge.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just kind of trying to remember that. And, like, you could see on his face, like, oh, God, my master is now a monster.
Poisoned by our enemies.
Poisoned by our...
Yeah, I think you're right, kids. He's going to drive the house right into the ground. He's going to be... What was the words? Let's see. If you acquire a reputation as a mad dog, you'll be treated as a mad dog.
I think that was insulting to Ramsay because he respects his dogs.
Yeah, he loves his dogs. Yep.
So that was also an insult. And, okay, so when the Karstark is talking to Roose Bolton about, if they went and attacked the Night's Watch, and Karstark says that they have the support of, like, the rest of the North, and he specifically mentions the Umbers. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if you remember, the Umbers are the ones who took in Rickon, the baby Stark.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because Bran sent Asha and Rickon off to the Umbers because they were the closest allies that they had. And then Karstark is standing there saying, oh, the Umbers are on our side. So they have Rickon as a bargaining chip now. So that's the plot point that I keyed in on. I was like, oh, that's really important because... they don't have Sansa anymore, but if they can somehow get their hands on Rickon, that's another Stark.
Right. Very true.
Starks will never die.
So then you go into the kennel scene, and this was...
This is the hard part to watch.
As a father, that might be hard for other people, but it was...
I had to pause it.
I'm like, oh my God. And he holds the baby before he goes into the kennel. Like, my brother.
They're also okay. So Ramsay sees this baby that it has the name Bolton, and he sees his father's widow now. I mean, he's analyzing it, and he's thinking terrible things.
Yeah,
and I just when he was also standing next to a fire, so for a second I thought he was going to throw the baby in the fire. But then he didn't. And so I was like, oh, good. Maybe he'll just let them go. No, that was hopeful thinking. I had to pause it, and I had to go cuddle my newborn.
He says, follow me, mother. Follow me, mother.
I have my own baby. And so I was cuddling my baby. I was like, I don't know if I can watch the rest of this show. But then I did.
So the dogs are all barking like crazy in the kennel, and he kind of barks back at them, and they all stop, and it was real impossible for me to watch. And... she's like, one last time, she's like, he's your brother, and he's like, I prefer being a lonely child. Crazy.
Oh, okay. Now, I think she knew that she was about to die.
Agree.
Right? As soon as she realized, he turns around, he says, I am Lord Bolton. She's like, oh shit. The last thing in the world she should have done is remind him that her baby is his brother. Because, I mean, I know she's not smart. She is obviously a survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you remind him that your baby... Yeah, that was so dumb. Like, he probably wouldn't have let them go anyway.
Yeah, but you don't want to throw in the fact that it's his brother. It's
No.
just a baby. We'll just go off. His name will be Snow, and let's just go hide,
there's no way he would let them go. He would probably chase them with the dogs if he did, but girl, no. Your baby is more important.
So I'm glad we didn't have to watch any of it. We just had to watch.
On
Ramsay.
that note, just watching his face and that
Mm-hmm.
that the smug look
I'm just
just
glad he didn't
come all
smile.
over his face.
You know,
I was
definitely
surprised
smug.
he didn't.
But yeah, I thought there was gonna be a ear to ear smile.
I think that was kind of a little bit more unsettling too. Like, just that he had no qualms with doing that.
Yeah, I'm glad they showed restraint in that scene. There's no way I could have handled seeing that,
I agree.
but watching him was very sinister.
Yeah, definitely. Oops, you're gone again. So then we get to see your favorite, Sansa. You call her worthless in the last episode. that
She
we
was
did.
she was not my favorite until last episode. She
So-
was worthless.
So we get to see her out into the woods, and with Reek, and Brienne says that I saw Arya. She wasn't just like a lady, and like Sansa's like, of course she wasn't. Duh, it's Arya. So it wasn't a big shock. Then she says, "Oh, I should have gone with you when I had a chance," and like we're all like, "Yeah, duh. Are you kidding me? Yeah, this could have changed everything if you just would have went with her at the bar." So with Littlefinger, and then so Theon, he has a conversation with her, and he comes to the realization that he's just such an ass. He betrayed Robb, he betrayed Sansa, he's betrayed the whole Starks as a whole, every single one of them individually, Bran, and he killed some farm boys and everything else. And he's like, I'm not going to the wall. I won't ever make it. So he's like, I don't want to be forgiven. So yeah.
So it was. I wasn't sure about that line of dialogue where he says, "I'm going home," to back to the Iron Islands. Aside from the fact that it was a transition to that plot line, because I didn't think that was his home anyway, because everyone just kind of abandoned him from there in the first place. And
when he first said it, I thought he was going back to Ramsay.
It's interesting the way he says it, though. He just says, I'm going home, which is a question, but which is fine.
Until
it's
they transition.
Freebie to everybody.
Which crap, I ruined your question.
No, it's quite it's 100 shiny nuggets for everybody. If they can remember it, but or paying attention. But I want to talk about this now as opposed to later, but the trailer for the next episode.
Wait, no, can we do the trailer at the
You want to?
have some stuff because I have some stuff to say about it too. I guess go ahead with yours.
This is a little spot. A guard says to Ramsay, "Well, I brought you a present." And I think it's Reek. Because he went home.
I think it. See, but
but you think it might
Rickon.
might be it could be Rickon.
Yeah, and seeing the trailer kind of like after I watched the episode, I was like, the Umbers have Rickon, and then I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, they brought him little baby Stark. That's part of the trailer that I think is going to happen for the next episode. That was I don't know. Dreads, do you have something to add?
You know what? You might be right.
I think it's Reek, but there is a strong possibility with that whole Umber thing that it is Rickon.
Because that was...
I wouldn't want to see that because who knows what he's going to do with him.
Because that was season 4.
He obviously doesn't have a problem killing babies, so... I don't know.
Because that was season 4, last time we saw Rickon. The end of it. Like episode 8 or something.
Okay, so... This came in chat, too, that Theon asked for a horse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Sansa should have just looked at him and just said, fuck no. How many
horses do they have?
I don't like Sansa.
Do they have 3 horses?
They had.
Oh wait,
they only had 2.
Well, then listen though, they killed all the guards right there, right? So they probably have like 7 horses.
I guess so. Well, they killed a couple
could.
horses in that battle.
Well, that's true.
It depends on how many horses they have left. But even if they had the horses, I would still say no. I'd be like, you're coming with us or you can die in the woods.
Yeah, you can
That's
walk, Reek.
how I feel about Reek. Because everything that has happened to the Starks is his fault. I'm okay, not everything. But you know what I mean. I hate him.
Yeah. I hear you.
Dumbass. Not a fan.
So then we go right from there, right when he says we're going home, we go right to the Iron Isle. So maybe he is going to the Iron Isles because this is the whole transition. When he says I'm going home, this goes right to the Iron Isles, so I guess it's very possible that we're going there. I didn't read the last book of the series, so I had no idea any of this stuff was going to transpire. And so I was kind of shocked about that portion. I really didn't think that was going to happen. But so he's having a conversation. I'm trying to bring her up her picture. I don't know if she's here. Doesn't look like she's on the HBO cast. Terrible.
Yara, the daughter.
So she's talking a lot. She's talking very kingly because she's like, the Ironborn are dying. We shouldn't be losing the Ironborn, and yada yada yada. And that was our last foothold. We shouldn't be fighting these people on land. We need to be fighting them in the sea. And she's making lots of good sense. And then he heads right over to the bridge. The king does, and that scene kind of reminded me of Episode 7 of Star Wars. I'm like, what are you doing? don't go to hell out there. That's kind of stupid, right?
And then don't linger on the bridge for so long. Like,
yeah.
Killed me. But you have to remember, okay, so Balin Greyjoy was the king of the Iron Islands. And he was also a part of the Battle of the Five Kings. When they were all fighting each other and
right.
The Baratheons knocked the Targaryens off of the throne. And the Iron Islands is a tiny outcropping of islands. They have no foothold in the actual Westeros. Like, they are purely islands. So I feel like Balin was trying to put his foot down, put roots down, so maybe they could
So about the other character, what Kix is right, is Euron Greyjoy on the other side, which is his brother. And he's like, brother, you look old. Let somebody else have a chance on the throne. And I thought that he would immediately take succession or whatever, but cuts to the funeral, and I guess there needs to be some sort of vote. I guess that's a democracy. It appears to be of sorts.
They touch on that in the books. There's a whole chapter on it. It's called a King's Moot. Where the different clans will vote on their next king. So that's what's happening, and there's never been a woman, and so
So he says, she swears on the Salt Throne, and she's like, he's like, that throne's not for yours to swear on.
Yeah. So she's going to be fighting a lot to kind of take over.
Don't you hate Pilu?
I don't want to do any spoils for the book if you haven't read the books yet. So we'll kind of leave that up in the air. Whether she's going to fight for it, maybe Theon will come in at some point. Maybe they'll do some kind of, I don't know, combat trial. I don't know. It's all up in the air if Theon's really going back there. But I think Yara wants that little iron throne, the salt throne, not iron throne.
Or maybe she'd be happy with Theon and to be a puppet.
I don't know. But I think she's going to go for it with everything she has.
Maybe.
She doesn't like Theon's leadership skills, so I doubt that she would even let him try to get put on the throne, even if he does show up.
Yeah, but she is loyal to him just because he's her brother.
Yeah.
She did try to save him, so.
Yeah, she did her best.
The old picture.
Right. So we see Melisandre. She's sitting at the fire, and she is absolutely distraught. She feels like her God has left her. That maybe her whole life has been wrong, and that
That's a long time too.
Yeah,
That's a
and that
time.
she's been going down the wrong way. Sitting at the fire, and she is absolutely distraught. She feels like her God has left her. That maybe her whole life has been wrong, and that
That's a long time too.
Yeah,
That's a
and that
time.
she's been going down the wrong way. I Enchanted. Yeah, the picture's the knife. I put that up there for you, Enchanted. By Keaton Place. Thanks for hanging out. So she's like, you mean? He comes in and he's like, what about the Lord Commander? You mean the former Lord Commander? And he's like, the Onion Knight is like, does he have to be? And she says, if you really want to help him, leave him be.
Yeah. Leave him alone.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that was interesting. And then she even says to Onion Knight, "You're right all along to not believe in the fire god, and I'm just full of crap." And of all things, the Onion Knight tries to restore her faith in the fire god. I didn't think that would happen.
Well, he saw her all the way through all of this. He saw her burn a child.
He saw her give birth to some shadow thing.
Yeah, like some crazy shit has happened to her, and he's witnessed all of it. And he believes that at the time she was seeing the things. He just thought she was like crazy. And now,
yeah.
I mean, he's pulling at smoke. Basically, this has to work. Something has to work. We can't do it on our own. And so
she's like, I don't believe in it. And he's like, F them all. I'm just asking a woman that I know has miracles exist, and he's like, have you ever tried to do it? I'm like, I don't know. I've never tried it.
Wouldn't hurt to try.
So, then we cut right to the bathing scene, which it really reminded me of the faceless god bathing thing. It was, they're sponging them off or whatever, and it was, I don't know. It just seemed, it just seemed kind of similar.
Ritualistic
and
cleansing.
Washed his hair like they did, even, and so I'm like, this is weird. But then,
but they cut his hair.
Yeah.
Well, she offering it up as like a sacrifice to the Lord of Light. Like putting it in the fire, like some kind of tribute almost.
And she starts.
It kind of looked like she was guessing. She didn't know what she was doing.
She said she didn't know how to do it, but she's met somebody who has been brought back to life.
Yeah.
But that it shouldn't have been possible.
Yeah.
And she starts doing her thing, and I'm put in a very awkward position. I have to start rooting for somebody that burned a child at the stake, that had a shadow demon come out of her, has done all kinds of despicable things, and I'm like, come on, bring back Jon Snow, do it! And I'm like, what am I doing? I just, I just feel weird. And Ghost, this whole thing, he's in the room. Ghost the whole time, he didn't once to me act like a dog that has lost its owner. He would nuzzle the hand in the last episode and hung out, but it just didn't seem like he was distraught. You think some other things are going on? So I just thought it was just really, really weird that the whole time Ghost is just like, and then he comes back alive, and then he sits up like he was expecting it the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's about time.
Well,
like, hey, welcome back.
So, Jon Snow, and I asked my wife before I came down here to do this. So Jon Snow's back alive. I'm trying to wonder.
Well, we don't really know for sure. We just see him wake up, and they're, you know,
Do you
his
think
eyes
he's
are
big a
brown. They're not like the White Walker stuff, but
Zombie John?
Zombie
so
John.
I don't know.
So I think he comes back as John, just like the other guy was rezzed a couple times, you know. But I'm trying to think, how is he gonna introduce himself to the Night's Watch? I hope he just puts on his uniform, straps on his sword, walks out there like he fucking owns the place.
Well, Sir Davos has his sword.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so they do.
So,
Well, okay, so
hello, Odins. So
here's my thoughts on this. Do you have more to add? 'Cause
yeah,
I'm
nope.
about to-
Yep, bring it.
Okay. I honestly thought they were going to burn John, his body,
Mhm.
on the pyre.
Yeah.
And once it was all done burning,
He stands up.
I thought he would stand up, just like Daenerys did,
Targaryen.
because I think he has Targaryen blood, which is another tangent that we probably shouldn't get into.
I think we'll
But
find it out
I
next episode, though.
Think so too.
I think
I
we're
thought
finding
they were gonna burn his body like with all the other people that died, and then he was just gonna be alive. Like honestly, and then she was in there because it wasn't working. You know, she walked out, and I was like, "They're gonna do it," because she tried to bring him back to life, and he didn't come back to life that way. I was like, "Yes, he's gonna resurrect through the fire afterwards. Maybe even the dragon somehow. I don't know, but you know what I mean." Like, I was sad that they didn't burn him and see that he didn't burn. Like, ugh.
I
was
think
just-
you're right, Kix.
Yeah, he makes a good point.
He
So now what?
he's come back to life. Does he follow his vows, or is he absolved of them? Is he able to go and do whatever he
Ooh.
wants now?
Yeah.
That is a good point. I don't know. What do you think, Dritz?
I think he's free to do whatever he wants, but I think him being Jon Snow is gonna just try and take back over the Night's Watch, or at least the Wall.
I don't think he's going to take the vows again because he's seen kind of just how they function and how destroyed they are. But I do think he's going to continue helping the free people fight off the White Walkers, and I think he is going to be the next Azor Ahai, the guy that Melisandre was looking for.
I kind of think that John will understand that he can't defend the Wall with the Night's Watch because there's like 40 of them left. 5 of them are going to go to the cellar. And so the only way that the Wall can hold is if he has the wildlings. And the wildlings man the castles because there's no way those 36 guys can do a damn thing.
Mm-mm.
So I think John will see that and he'll be like, well, the best way to do that will be to take over Winterfell, and then I can have all the North again, and then so we'll do that.
And Sansa's on her way to him. So if Ramsay does try to wage war, you have Jon Snow and you have Sansa in the North. And you're gonna have the Karstarks and the Umbers, and he said one more clan. I don't remember right now, but he'll have everyone else banding together with Jon Snow and Sansa in the North, and they're either gonna be fighting, like Ramsay until the White Walkers come, or they're just gonna switch gears and only care about the White Walkers because all of the people at Castle Black have just seen dead things come back to life. They've just seen the army, so it's all fresh in their minds. Like they need to get on that, and I think they know that now. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling a little.
Yeah, I think you're right, Quartet. Well, kicks us up. Night gathers and now a watch begins. It shall not end until my death. I shall take no wife, hold no lance. Yeah. Only if Ygritte was around so he could enjoy his second life.
Wrecked.
Yeah. Poor Ygritte. That was sad. He loved her. He did.
Does anybody else hope that that little kid dies
Oh yeah,
soon?
Ollie.
See, but do you-
Ollie. What a little prick.
Well, okay, so Jon Snow has just been resurrected.
They'll probably introduce Easter now in Westeros.
You got
Easter.
to come again. He has risen.
That's a good one.
He's not
That's
gonna.
definitely
Okay,
good.
so he's not gonna come back completely the same. The other people have resurrected say like, oh, well, each time I come back, like I've lost a little piece of myself.
Yeah.
So he might not be as compassionate, and I mean, I
You're
hope he
right.
stabs that kid in the face, like hello again, dead. Because he
Not
like,
not
I
only
think
did he kill Egret, but he also got the final blow on John.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I hope John comes back with just a little bit less compassion.
North against Ramsey. Yeah, I think so too. I know. I think.
That sounds right to me.
Here's the other thing too. I guess is what he could do. He could very well take over Winterfell and give it to Sansa, and then him take the wall, and then Sansa could rule Winterfell.
So Ramsay doesn't know that the wildlings are there.
Yeah.
He is clueless
Yeah,
about all of that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, because he's like, well, they got 40 guys on a wall. What the hell? I'm just going to walk up there and take the place. No big deal. But
And all of his best guys just got slaughtered by Brienne. So he's
Yeah.
not going in with his best anymore either.
and they also have a cave troll. So,
Cave troll.
so so I don't think he's counting any of that. So,
Now, okay, so in this episode, we didn't see anything more about Daenerys. We didn't see any more.
which I'm sad about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sad about that.
And you know what we didn't see? What I'm still waiting for is Samwell Tarly.
Yep, not a
Because you
thing.
remember he left
He's a wizard.
with with the baby.
Uh-huh.
And okay, I'm a little confused. Dritz, have you read the books?
I have not read all of them, no. Just
Okay.
the first two.
Okay, well then maybe I'm alone on this. But when they left with the baby in the books, that was a huge plot point because the baby's not who they thought it was.
Definitely Core Tempest.
So now I'm kind of wondering if they did the same thing in the show, if the baby was important. Because they
Oh,
I mean
really?
they just took the baby out of there. Yeah. But I don't want to do any spoilers.
Huh.
But I'm waiting
Tell
to
me
see
afterwards.
Yeah, I'm
That's
waiting to
interesting.
see if that's anything important at all, and we still haven't seen him, and I thought we would.
No.
So I'm sad.
No, we haven't seen any of that. We haven't seen any of the White Walkers yet this season. How close are they to the wall? Is there some sort of plan?
Yep.
Are we only gonna? We could see this all through Bran, since he can jump through time and space and see stuff. So
That's going to be exciting. That's going to be really exciting,
So that-
seeing the past.
yeah, and you know that there's a new series that's coming out that they're working on, right?
What? Tell me the things. What? What are you talking about?
It's going to be Robert's War. It's going to be
Oh.
all that.
They're going to Well, that'll be exciting.
Yeah, and they've already casted young versions of everybody.
Mhm.
And so, there should be lots of more material because this should be coming to close, and some people speculate after this season there's only like 15 more episodes left. So where does it go after that? So we could still have some of the same characters. Razor, thanks for the follow. We could have some of the same characters, just younger, and hopefully we can. We could see a young Jorah Mormont, a young Jaime Lannister, a young Cersei.
The Mad King.
Yeah, the Mad King, which would be super
I'm
interesting.
really excited to see that part. Like
Yeah,
the
he's at the Citadel in
Targaryens.
Old Town. Yeah. So we could see all that stuff, and that would be amazing. I'm kind of wondering though, as a fan though.
Could we see Jon Snow's mother?
Yeah, that was my next
if I really want to see a young Jamie, Core Tempest, thanks for following. If I really want to see a young Jamie Lannister, do I really want to see a Cersei? You know what I really want to see? I want to see the Targaryens on dragons kicking ass. I don't want to see dragons the size of cats. I want to see dragon riders. I want to see them melting castles. I want
Hi, Aragon.
I want to see all that, right? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, because that's a whole nother part of the world that we won't get to see unless Tyrion can somehow train these dragons.
Yeah.
But it's a lost culture,
Yeah.
and it's sad.
Yeah, very true. So
Okay, so who saw the preview for the next episode?
the Tale of Old Valyria, I would. I saw the trailer.
Okay, Driz, did you see the trailer?
Briefly.
Okay.
I didn't scan through it as in depth as you did, probably.
Oh, that's because I'm crazy. So that's not your fault. So, okay, we see another little flashback from Bran. Roram already covered the fact that Rickon might be surrendered to the Ramses, which was a big thing. But we see Bran's flashback, and it is Eddard Stark with Robert. They're going during the Targaryens, the siege on that tower. It's back during that actual war.
What is that? The Tower of Joy? Is that what it's called?
They were rescuing. I don't remember the tower.
I think it's
tower anymore. Towers the Joy. Towers of.
Tower of Joy. I think it's
I think you're right. And they were. I'm pretty sure they were about to rescue Lyanna Stark.
Yep.
Because we saw that first flashback where she was in it. Next one, I'm pretty sure it's when she's kidnapped up there. And I think she's Jon
You think she's what?
Snow's mom. I don't think that
I think so too.
he's Ned Stark's son at all.
Nope.
And I think we're going to see that in the flashback. And that would be really cool.
And so lots of hopefully
Targaryen.
Epic stuff.
Yeah.
Epic stuff will be coming out next week, I hope. Yeah, I don't think we'll see we might see the conception. Maybe that would be weird if Bran was watching that. Hey.
There has not been sex recently.
Hi, Auntie. What do you do? Oh.
There needs to be more boobies in the show.
There hasn't been any.
No.
First episode.
Really?
Yeah, at the very end. Remember when she turned old creepy lady?
Oh, right. Yeah. Guess we did see them, right?
There was two sets of boobs. There was the young her and then the real her.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They weren't the young, sexy boobs that I wanted to see. Okay.
Her boobs are still pretty nice.
For moments.
The young version of her.
Yeah, the young version.
The young version.
Before she changed, yeah.
The magical
But
version.
you're right. There hasn't been as much sex or honestly gore. Right?
The deaths have been pretty quick.
Yeah. And implied
besides
death,
the dogs.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrifying. But I need to go hug my baby again.
So, well, I think I'm going to end it. I think we pretty much covered everything for tonight. So,
yep.
This is going to be a short stream for me tonight, guys. I've got soccer practice tonight. So, but good news in the stream is that, my son had a problem with the test last week, but that is all done now. So, flying colors now. So, we're all good on that end. So, but we're done.
More good news. I won the knife.
Yeah, more good news. If you didn't know about a picture, Driz Fury won the knife, and it's a really, really. Did you see the highlight? Pretty ideal. Did you see that?
What?
Everyone go watch the highlight.
You sent me the link last night. I watched it.
And then
Roram's face when I say the number 9 is priceless.
I'm trying to drink some coffee. He says 9, and I just about spit it everywhere because I knew it was number 9. It was amazing. If you haven't seen it, you should check out my YouTube channel. It was pretty fun. I'll be back tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tuesday. I don't know what I'm gonna be playing tomorrow, but something that you guys can get some shiny nuggets for using, getting at the deck. We'll put another knife in there. We'll have some more fun with giveaways this coming week. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the donation, Road Killer, and the other guy that wants me to click on some link, some Chroma Gun team, whatever. Blah. So I'm out.
All right.
All right. Thanks,
I love
everybody.
all of you
All right.
Later.
for watching.
All right. Hang
See
out.
you next week.
All right. Bye, everybody. Say goodbye, Trents.
Later, everybody.
All right. Bye.